יברכך אדוני וישמעך, יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונקה, יישא אדוני פניו אליך וישם לך שלום. This past week's parsha it's in many ways, right? It's the completion of Sefer Bereshit, but it's also a completion of an incredibly important sugya. But something we've been talking a lot about is the hatred between brothers. Cain and Hevel, disaster. Yitzchak and Ishmael, another disaster. Yaakov and Esav, another disaster. Yosef and his brothers, yet another disaster. 4 generations, 4 archetypical struggles. And okay, finally, right, after all of this, we get to Ephraim and Manasseh. The first thought you would have, right, is Yaakov, right? You just spent about 25 years in mourning because of favoritism. What is this game that you're putting the younger in front of the older one again? It's like, have we not had enough of this already? But Yaakov is the midat ha'emet, right? He's true. He is truth, and he's also beauty, because he also has the balance of Avraham and Yitzchak, the exact right amount of chesed and gevurah. And we're also told because of that he has a mitah shalem. All of his children are tzaddikim. And even though in his brachas he actually, it sounds like a bit of a curse, on Reuven, Shimon, and Levi. But if you look at the wording, he's not cursing them at all. He's actually addressing the midah of the kas, or I would say the exaggerated righteous indignation that they have, not only for them, but for the tribes as a whole to address. And this is something also different, that the brachas of the tribes, the children, they happen together. Each of the tribes hear the other tribes' blessings. Shimon and Levi, they're not ostracized, right? They're not told to get out of the family. They're not told to, when you fix yourselves and you're welcome back. There's none of that. They're always part of the family. They are given specific tasks within the nation to help them, address the issues they need to, which essentially we know all negative traits also have a very strong positive aspect too. Shimon, even though he comes across as the most cruel, it's his idea to kill Yosef, but if you look at him in a different situation, he actually seems to be the most compassionate of all the brothers. After Dinah is raped, right, the brothers, they take out the city, but Dinah doesn't want to leave. She's embarrassed. She's mortified. How can I go back home after this happened to me? Shimon says to her, I'm going to marry you. Let me take it. I'll take it on myself. Shimon's compassion is extraordinary. And we don't see that level among the other brothers, but also the flip side is that he has this righteous indignation and he has the ability to take out a city. Okay, but what's his tikkun? His tikkun is actually, he becomes a wanderer. They become sofrim and teachers of children. And they wander through the land, teaching Torah to children and writing holiness, holy words. And this is the fixing of Shimon. We've gotten to this point of balance of these supernal energies of loving kindness and justice. So you have 12 tzaddikim, children, and you also have Ephraim and Manasseh. And guess what? We don't hear anything about it after that. There's absolute silence, because for the first time, the nation is seeing the whole from the parts. And the different tribes are specialists in different functions, and each one without the other is chaser. We're getting out of that narrative of superior and inferior, and we're getting into the narrative of a a unified whole with different specific talents and abilities. And this is also a huge fixing in general in the midah of ga'ava, right? The midah of ga'ava, of arrogance, as a person to be in a position that's not really fitting for them. And it doesn't bring any kind of nachas, doesn't bring any kind of happiness. We want to be in the right place, doing the right thing, the way Hashem, gave us specific abilities to do what we're supposed to do in Am Yisrael. So that Hashem, each one of us should be zochet to do our tafkid in this world the way Hashem wants us, and to be zochet to the midah, right? The characteristics of true humility, taking into account what your strengths are, admitting to yourself and to others, and to carrying it forward. Should be zochet really to each one of us to bring from koach to poach, from potential to actual, everything that Hashem has in mind for us to bring into the world.